a brief roadmap before starting my rebuttal speech. I'll first be going over points in my opponent's case, and then reinstituting points in my own case and making responses to the responses that were made on my own case. My opponent's first contention, their main point was the economy. In their first sub-point about jobs, they say how 70% of jobs are found on social networking sites and in general, and then they also go on to say that 16 million jobs were created by one site alone. However, they never mention the site, and if they can't even source the site that is creating all these jobs, we can only assume that this supposed 16 million jobs doesn't even exist. And in response to the 70% of jobs found on social networking site, in their own evidence that they gave us, and no, it didn't even state that 70% of jobs were being found on social networking sites. So because of this, we can only imply that social networking sites are not creating jobs. Therefore, the first part of their first contention is greatly flawed. The second part of their first contention talks about advertising and how it's viewed freely on social networking sites and how they gain vast amount of money every day. However, you can cross-apply this to the latter part of our first contention when we talk about how there's $759 billion lost in productivity, and the article that they state that we have is not the actual article. The actual article we have is from the Washington Post that states of the 8.5-hour workday, 1.6 hours is spent on social networking, and because of that, $759 billion is lost in productivity. And now we'll go on to their second contention, where they talk about education. And they say that children are going on here to talk about school and whatnot, and how 59% talk about school and 50% talk about other school-related things. However, social networking site does not help education. In the evidence that they gave us, it's talking about the national report card and how, in general, education is improving. However, a social networking site is not accountable for people talking about school. Just because you're talking about school doesn't mean you're talking about education. These children could be gossiping or spreading lies or rumors about people, and that in no way benefits their education. Their third contention, they talk about communication and how millions viewed Virginia Tech and how they broadcasted news and they can take action faster. However, in response to taking action faster, they never stated how we've taken action faster because of social networking. They clearly make a speculation that because social networking is out there, that we can go and we can stop like different terrorist acts, or like we can go and help people. However, they don't give one example of how social networking does this in any way. And now I'll be going over the responses they made to my case. In our first contention, they talked about how it was because of web surfing and how that doesn't apply to the debate in any way. However, as I was stated when I was refuting their case, that $759 billion is direct to social networking site. And in response to our Britain argument about how they lose $260 million a day, they say that that isn't in the U.S., therefore it doesn't matter. However, Britain and the United States are very similar countries. We're both first world countries, and the definition of first world countries, as we gave them, are countries that have a large effect on the world and have large economies, and they are pretty much the same. Therefore, if Britain is losing $260 million a day because of social networking, we can only conclude that the United States is losing the same amount or greater because of social networking. And in response to isolation, they say that the definition of isolation is if you're like concluded to yourself. However, social networking site does promote isolation because when you're on social networking sites, you're not being social, you're not going out there and trying to better yourself. You're sitting there behind a computer screen, and your computer screen is your virtual world. Social networking sites does not like promote reality. You are being isolated, you are by yourself, and for all these reasons, I strongly urge a negative ballot. Can you please explain to me how eBay is a social networking site?
Because on eBay you have a semi-public profile.
Okay, so because
to interact with people
by
selling items to them.
Okay, so you're interacting because you're selling items. So
yes.
that makes it social networking website. So you're saying that the point of eBay is to go out and meet people, or like to connect with them in any way, correct? Since it is social networking.
To connect with them.
Okay, so you're connecting with them because you're selling something to them. Is that what you're saying?
Yes. Because also because we state in our definition that it's a semi-public profile.
Okay,
that
so
you
if
interact with people.
Okay, so if I make a website called I Love Mariah and I set up a profile that clearly makes it a social networking site by your definition.
But are you in?
No, yes, no, that's what you said. You said that your definition is a web service that enables you to create a semi-public or private profile. And if I made
interact with people, I say
okay, so if someone
people.
goes to my website and they like make their own profile, wouldn't that be interacting with them?
No, because are they?
Okay, so then how is eBay a
anyway?
social networking site if you just conceded to the fact that if I made a website and then someone created a profile on there, that wouldn't be social networking, but then you turn around and say that eBay is a social networking site when it's basically the same thing.
No, because eBay uses it to connect with other people.
Okay, so that one other person I'm
on
connected
your
with.
website, if someone were to make a profile on your website, then maybe yes, your website would be considered a social networking site. But then that adds to the point that eBay is a social networking site because it is a website that people use to connect with people.
Okay, how do you connect to someone by selling them your belongings?
First of all, we stated that we have a
Can you explain how connecting with someone is selling them stuff, not by your definition, just like plain words. How is connecting equal to selling something?
Because you're interacting with them.
How are you interacting?
Because
you're interacting because you place something on the internet and someone says, oh, I want to buy it, and then they buy it. How is that interacting?
Because you are connecting to them and you are selling an item and you are trading something with them.
How are you trading? You're like pretty much like giving away like all your things on the site. And do you have like I don't understand how eBay is a social networking site in any way. Because like our definition, it's like it's a website that enables people to sharing personal or professional interests. And eBay, you don't share either of those things.
Because our definitions clash with each other, but our definition is from the Journal of Computer-Mediated Communication, and it was also written by people from Berkeley, which is the center of technology.
In our opponent's main contention, they said that social networking sites cause a loss of productivity. And they also said that the social networking sites cause $759 billion loss of productivity per year. But this $759 billion, we can't lose something we never had. The $759 billion is only a potential loss. We never actually had the $759 billion. Also, they said that the United Kingdom and the United States were both first countries, or first world countries. But they also said that the United Kingdom was pretty much the same as the United States. That doesn't make them the same. Also, our main contention, our subpoint A, we clearly state that the social networking sites create 16 million jobs, and which stimulates the economy. And also in our subpoint B, we said that in response they said that eBay is not a social networking site, but eBay is a social networking site because you can create a profile and you can also interact with people by buying and selling stuff. eBay $115.2 million is made through the transaction of eBay, which stimulates the economy. $115.2 million a day, and this obviously fits our standard of American interest, and it also fits their standard of economic growth and societal welfare, which is why I urge an affirmative ballot.